A change of perspective. That is what I needed in these days. Days in which I need to make so many decisions and I have no idea how to stop my thoughts from moving in circles. Or maybe I should say a change of questions. Most of us spend our lives on autopilot mode, doing things because society taught us that that is the correct thing to do, or that is the right path, or because our parents told us so, or maybe even because we're driven by our unconscious. Just think about the going to school, finding a job, finding a partner, getting married, buying a house, starting a family. Most of us don't stop to think about if that is actually the life we want. Most of us don't even think there is an alternative to that. Most of us follow this natural path, thinking it's obvious that it's the only one or the correct one. And so we hardly stop and ask ourselves, what am I doing all this for? Luckily, and I honestly have no idea how, I was never a person that lived her life on autopilot mode. For example, I didn't follow my parents' profession. They are both mechanical engineers, both my mom and my dad, and my granddad's too. I didn't even go to university as everybody said I should. I lost 1 year traveling when everybody told me that I should have started studying. I bought a house when most of the people advised me not to, and when I was extremely young. So yeah, I could say I definitely didn't follow the natural path. And you might be like me. You might be a person that didn't follow the natural path still, whether you're like me or you are a person that decided to follow a more ordinary path. And there's nothing wrong with them, just to be clear. Still, in both cases, you might be still trapped. You might be trapped in doing actions that are not exactly what you want. You might be trapped in not asking yourself, again, what am I doing all this for? You know, sometimes we don't do what's best for us because we're set on autopilot mode, as described previously. But sometimes we also don't do what's best for us because we're set in making choices for other people's sake, which is definitely very honorable. Still, it can be a trap as well. The thing is, we might do something good for others, but if deep inside is not something that we want as well, we won't do it with pure intentions and with a good heart. And we will somehow hold grudge towards those others because in the end, we couldn't do what was best for us. And it might sound selfish, I know. Well, it definitely is. But the thing is, you won't give 100% if what you're doing is not because you want to do it, or because you're forced to do it somehow. You won't be happy if you're doing something not because you felt like doing it, but because someone asked you to do it. And this doesn't mean that we should never do something to help others, not at all. But this means that we should help others if there is something that we feel like doing. But we shouldn't be helping others if that is not something that is making us happy too. I don't go volunteering in animal sanctuaries because I have to, but because it is something that fills me with joy. Even if sometimes some of the tasks are disgusting and it's hard work and it's not always easy, still, it fills me with joy. I'm doing something for others, but it's good for me as well. I don't go by bike with my dad because he asks me to, but because I'm happy to spend some father-daughter time with him. I don't spend time with friends because it is required of me. I don't go to a birthday party because I have to, but because I decide that is something that is gonna be good for me as well. And I must say, if sometimes I suddenly don't feel anymore like spending time with those specific people, I will not. Again, it could be selfish, yes, but your time is precious. Your happiness is precious. As a friend told me today, this life ain't coming back. And everybody should be a bit selfish. And don't mistake me, of course there are duties in life that you have to do no matter what. Like duties like paying your taxes or things that you have to do because they are required by law, by your country, whatever. Yes, of course. But all the rest, in everything else where you have a choice, you should always ask yourself first, what am I doing all this for? And this is even more important in the big life decisions. Whether it's moving or staying in another country, whether it's staying in a relationship or breaking up, or keeping the job or finding another, or taking care of your parents or going on with your life. Anything. Maybe you're living with a lot of stress in your life, or anxiety or sadness. Then again, ask yourself, what am I doing all this for? Which in Italian would be chi me lo fa fare? Are you staying in that city because your family asked you to and they don't want you to leave, or because you want to? Are you in that relationship because you actually love that person, or because you're scared of leaving that person and making her or him suffer? Are you going out with those friends because you're expected to, or because you actually cannot wait to see them and spend some time with them? What are you doing all this for? Chi te lo fa fare? And if the answer is not me, if the reason behind your actions is not you and your happiness, then you should ask yourself why you should make decisions in your life based on what others want. I worried about what others wanted for so long, but now it's time to change. And I accept that I will be called selfish, and I accept that I will lose some people, but my happiness, your happiness, comes first. What about you? Bye, Fred. There are some animals here that are not allowing me to film my YouTube video, huh? Sole, you want to say something?